everyone, my name is Kelly. So today I'm going to show you how I put on my hair extensions. And the technique that I'm using is called fusion hair extensions, meaning it's individual strands. This technique the best because I find it's most natural. I do a lot of updos, I put my hair up a lot, so I find with the individual pieces it helps to give me more flexibility to do more style. There are many techniques out there and I do them all for my clients, but personally for me I find the fusion fits me best. So I've made these on my own, so you can buy the pre-made one, but I just try to save some money, so I make my own. If you guys want to see how I make my own hair extensions, you can let me know in the comment below and I'll do a separate video on that. But this is the hair extensions that I have. So it's a little bit different from my hair. That's okay because I want to create that balayage effect, meaning up here is more of a darker color and on the ends it's just a little bit brighter. It looks a lot brighter compared to my own hair, but once it's in my hair, it'll blend really nicely. So I get a lot of compliments with this color. I have 18-inch length and I have the 24-inch length. So this would most likely be at the bottom. I will use a long one just to create that long, mermaid kind of look. And it's in a V shape, so I need that length to make it look like a V. The shorter ones, I'm going to be putting it on the side and just all over the interior of my hair. So I'll be doing these two. Please note that there's a lot of hair on the market and you have to buy the right kind of hair. They have 100% Remy hair, one direction, and they have a lot of different other kinds. Some hair are mixed with horsehair, some hair are mixed with synthetic, so you really have to be careful. Go to a reputable hair extension distributor so that you know that for sure you're getting the best quality. And also, what's the difference between one direction? So let's say manufacturer make hair extensions. So think of it as if you went to a hair salon and you cut hair off. So all that hair falls on the floor and people take them to gather them or have them together into one strand, but they're not one direction. So they're not like the whole strand grown from a person's head. It's just small little hair that were cut into small pieces and they have it to, make it into one. So those are very easily tangled and easily matted. It does not last you well. So you do want to get the one direction strand, meaning it's a whole strand. That's what you want because it's a lot more smoother, it lasts longer, and it's higher quality. But at the same time, it's very expensive. The reason why I have so much of the hair here, it is because one thing you need to understand that when it comes to hair extensions, the more hair you put in, the fuller, the more real it looks. But when you try to save money and put in less hair, it looks very straggly on the ends and it's noticeable that it's not real hair or it's not your real hair. So keep that in mind. Hair extensions are not cheap. I have to admit they're very expensive. But let's say on average it's like a set of full head of hair extensions that's fusion is about $1,500. But it lasts you to 4 to 6 months. So if you time 16 or 1,500 every day, then you're basically paying $5, $6 a day for beautiful hair that makes you feel so confident. For me, a lot of people say, oh, your hair looks nice, you have hair, it's not that bad, but it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look great. So, I find that I've been wearing these hair extensions for 15 years and, I get addicted to them. Like, I feel so naked right now with my own hair. Yes, I was able to grow my hair a little longer, but it's so straggly. It doesn't look like it now because I set it in hot roller. So yes, I agree on average it's not bad hair, but once you have, hair extensions and the voluminous, the volume, the length that you get from it, it's just so addictive. So my clients always ask me, Kelly, what's the the cons of hair extensions? What's the bad thing about hair extensions? And I can honestly say the bad thing is that you're going to get addicted to it. And, cost comes into play. And so, that's the worst thing. But, the pros is just phenomenal. It just makes you feel so confident. I get so much compliments. I can promote my business a lot better with hair extensions. So to each his own. Some people is a priority, some of them is not, but to me, hair is my priority. Makeup is my priority. So, you know, hair extensions, you know, I would spend less money buying a cheaper pair of jeans and save it for my extensions than to buy a pair of jeans that's $400 and I really don't get the full satisfaction out of it. So, you know, everyone has their priority. A hair extension is not a cheap service, but at least it's something that I would do every day. I enjoy it every day. I love it every day, and it makes me confident. Whereas I can spend that $1,500 to buy, like, for example, an LV bag or, you know, a beautiful pair of shoes, but what will give me more of the satisfaction? So everyone is different. Some people hair is not important, some people purse is important. So it's all perspective. But for me personally, I would save money for my hair. Bottom line. So those of you who like to have hair extensions or are wearing hair extensions itself is not a harmful thing. It does not harm you. It does not break your hair. It's how it's done. Who does it? What do they do in the meantime? Do they advise you properly? Do they take care of your hair? Do they show you how to maintain it? So it's not the hair or the technique that harms you, it's the person who does it. So if the hairstylist address you properly, they choose the best technique for you for your hair extensions, then honestly you can wear it for life and it doesn't harm your hair any more than, you know, a flat iron would, you know. So if you guys want to hear more about this, I can do a separate video on just hair extensions or explanation. But for today, I'm going to show you how I put them on and how I install them. So it's going to be a long video. So those of you who are not interested in hair extensions or this topic, then, you know, you can pass forward or skip to the next video. But this video is just strictly putting on hair extensions. So right now, this is my hair, okay? Now, don't get fooled by it. It looks nice right now because I style it with the hot rollers. But once I sleep on it and wake up in the morning, it's flat because there's no volume in it after I sleep. But with the hair extension, since there's so much hair, I can wake up the next morning and my hair looks like bedhead, beautiful, voluminous, and thick. So, you know, technically when I have hair extensions in my hair, it actually saved me less time doing my hair as opposed to I leave my hair naturally like this. So I just trimmed it yesterday. I did a video on it as well. So before installing hair extension, it's best to get your hair nicely trimmed just so that as the hair is wearing the extensions, it can grow out healthy. So I did that. So the tools that I use is the heater like this. It has an on and off button right here that you turn on and off. And then basically you just open it to, you know, put the bond in there and then just close it to melt the bonds. I like to have this sheet shield. So it's a plastic, you know, shield just to cover your hair while you're doing it so that you don't get any, you know, adhesive or bonding stuck to the other parts of your hair. And then this clip is just to hold on to it. So you can have a few clips as you're doing this, just to clip your hair out of the way. This is a silicone kind of rubbery thing that I have. I don't know what to call it, but usually if the bond are too hot for you to do with your hands, you can use this to roll it as well. But a lot of bonding out there, and they have what you call a keratin bond. And that, I have to say, is the best one to use. It's a clear one, but for me, I prefer to use these, and this is just like a regular hair bonding adhesive that I got from the distributor, and I make this on my own, so it's a lot cheaper. The one that's pre-made is over half the price more, so just for budgeting wise, since I do a lot, I tend to make my own, and these are pretty hard bonding. So the best way to know if you have a good bond is, you know, the bond should always feel hard. If you ever have the bond and it feels like bubble gum, then honestly it's the worst, because once it's like mushy and bubblegum like, it will, you know, trap other hair and it's going to be a huge mess. So you want the bonds to be hard, like literally really hard like this, okay? So that, you know, it's dry, it stays longer. So right now I am taping with my iPhone and I'm standing right in front of my washer mirror, but I also have another mirror right here. So I have a closet right there and I managed to have a mirror coming out of it from the wall. So this mirror helped me to see when I'm working at the back. So like this, okay, I'm able to adjust it so that when I work at the back, I can see the reflection from here through there. So you may need to have this when you are working, whether you're doing your hair extensions or whether you are styling your hair or doing whatever. It's good to have a two-way mirror like this so that you can see what you are doing. So this will come in handy when I do the side. If you have to do it, then do it yourself, but honestly, if you can get this done professionally, do so, because yes, you are paying a lot, but it's the expertise that you're paying for. So you can definitely do this at home. I'm showing you that you can, but it's just very exhausting and sometimes you may burn yourself. So I don't recommend you guys to do this at home, but if you do have to for budgeting reasons, I'm just showing you that it's possible. First, what you do is that whenever you have extensions, if your hair is long like mine, all you're doing basically is adding length and fullness, which is easy. So hair extension, especially the fusion method, is very easy for those who have hair my length or shoulder length down, that you want volume and you want to enhance the thickness and even sometimes color. Like rather than bleaching your hair, coloring it platinum blonde to get that balayage look or some highlights, you can choose any color of hair extensions and put them in and you don't harm your hair. So hair extension is great for all purposes. So always, it's harder to blend if your hair is up to here, which I have done before, but that's a whole new different advanced video. In this one, if you guys have hair like me or a bit shorter that you want to extend the volume or just to, you know, extend the length or have more volume, this works really well. Always best to leave about a bit of a space, like about an inch around the hairline, so that when you put your hair up, it doesn't show the bonds. So some of your hair will cover the bonds. I'm gonna do the side first. What you do, so I'm gonna put one piece here. So how much hair to take? So if you have strong hair, then you can take about half of this. So this is actually a thick strand. Usually it only has half. Like this is what it comes. So when you buy the pre-made one, it only have half. But since I make them, I try to make them a little thicker so that I don't have like 200 strands in my hair and it takes forever for me to remove in half a year. So I like to combine them together to make them thicker, and also my hair can handle that weight. But if your hair is a little weaker or finer, then you may just want to stick with just one strand. So just grab a bit of hair like this, okay? Put the shield sheet in like that. Clip the hair and the shield down, okay? So it's very important that you get all these baby hair out of the way. It's best to put the extensions about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch away from your scalp. Reason being is that it's going to feel a lot more comfortable. The first week when you have the extensions in, if you put them too close, it's great because it will last you longer, but it may be uncomfortable for the first few days because it's a little tight on your scalp. But since I'm used to it, I'm okay. But I recommend that it should not be completely tight. So it should not be yanking at your roots. It should just be right near the roots, just enough for the hair to you know, the root to breathe. So extension can also help you grow out your hair. Why? Because, for example, you attach it to here, correct? And as your hair grows out, the extension grow out with your hair. So if you have to do your color or your roots, you can do it as normal. It's not a problem. So That's the reason why I also like to do the fusion, because I can do my roots while I have them in. So you put the strands together like this, okay? And then you are going to heat it up. So leave it for about, 5 seconds until the bond is melted, okay? Once you feel it's melted, then you can use your finger, or if you're afraid of it burn, you can use this rubber and then just roll it back and forth. So once you roll it back and forth, the bond will harden like this right now, and that's all you do. And let's say if you happen to make a mistake and you have to redo it, all you have to do is get the remover, remove them, dissolve them, and then redo them. It's the first piece, okay? So when you buy the pre-make, the keratin bonds, you can make the bonding a lot smaller, but since I make these myself and the bonds of this one is not as secure as the keratin bonds, so that's why I like to have them a little bit, longer so that they can last me for half a year. When you want to create weight, then you do it next by each other, meaning one by one by one by one. If you want to just create volume, then you can just do one extension, leave your hair, and another extension. So again, if you want to create bulk, let's say if your hair is short and you want to create that volume at the bottom, then you have to do the whole row side by side each other. But if let's say your hair is long already and you just want more fullness or more volume, you don't have to have them side by side. You can skip a space. So in this case, since it's the first row, I want to create that fullness at the bottom, I am going to do them side by side. So I'm using this to warm down the bonds before I actually use my hands to roll it, so you don't burn your fingers. So when you wear hair extensions, you should always have them separate like this. You should never have them pair together, so no pairing up like a couple. The bonds should always separate themselves through all the time. So once they start matting together or sticking together, that's when you have to take them out. If not, then they're going to get matted. So even when 2 months or 3-4 months from now, you still want them to be individual like this, okay? You can see how the hair is starting to form, okay? So as I get into here, I'm gonna start doing the 18-inch one to have, different length in the hair so that it creates more volume and also it looks more natural. So using this, roll it to cool down the bonds and then use your finger right away to roll it. Once you roll it, the bonds will become hard and that's what you want. When you do the bonds, you want them to feel nice and smooth, so don't have any like bumps or anything. The smoother the bonds, the more comfortable it will feel on your head. When you're doing this, I'm not gonna lie, not only your arms and your neck's gonna hurt, but also your eyes, because you have to kind of look to the side like this to see the mirror. So it's very painful, or very uncomfortable after like an hour. So make sure if you're planning to do this at home, you're up for the pain, because you will feel, you know, your eyes starting to hurt, your back's gonna hurt, and your arm's gonna hurt for sure. Okay, so this is what it looks at the back. Now I'm seeing through this mirror, so I'm gonna pick up a piece of hair. So it's better that you take more hair than less hair, okay? Because if you take too less of a hair, then the hair is not strong enough to hold the extensions, which it will make your hair kind of, you know, weaken and then it falls off. So make sure you do grab a bit of hair when you're attaching it to the extensions. So if you're going to try this at home, I recommend you to find someone to help you, a girlfriend or your best friend or whoever, or your boyfriend, but doing it on yourself is going to be quite exhausting. So a lot of methods that they have out there, I find that this one is the most easiest one for you to do on yourself, because, you know, it's more like a guesswork, whereas the other technique, you have to be on that top of that person in order to do it. Whereas this, you can kind of eyeball it and, you know, get away with it. The hair extension honestly will look really nice after like a week or so, because, you know, they have settled into your hair. The first day or so, it feels a bit, you know, uncomfortable and probably, you know, a little tight on you. But as you wear them, and as they start growing out, it will feel like as if you have nothing in it at all. Usually for my clients, I usually put them a little bit further away because just for comfort reason. But for me, since it takes me so long to do them every time, I just kind of like tough it out and do them a little closer to my scalp so that they last me a bit longer. The extension sticks out like this, don't worry about it. As it grows out in a couple of days and as you sleep on them, they're gonna lie flatter to the head. They will form to the shape of the head, so you don't have to worry. As long as they're not like stick out like 9° out the head, but as long as it's just a little bit like that, it's okay. So don't have to stress out about that. With the hair, okay? So now you know why you have the shield, so that you don't have the tools that attaches the hair extensions touch the other part of your hair. So a lot of time you can have it finer. So let's say if your hair is finer hair, then you can have a smaller bond and thinner strands. The reason why I have it double strands like this is just so that it's quicker for me to do. But normally if I were to do it on my clients, then I would do it finer strands. once you get to here, you can turn this way just to see it easier. So basically, it's whatever easiest for you. It is hard at the beginning, but once you get used to it, it's quite easy. To here is all of my 18-inch, and this is I'm gonna start using my 24-inch. Because as I get near the ear, I want to compensate for the loss of the hair around here, so I want to extend this a little longer. So as you can see, the first row is done. Just make sure that after you bond them, there's no little like adhesive sticking anywhere around. If you can keep the bond nice and clean and separated, then as you wear them, it's just gonna connect through with your hair. You won't look as if obvious having them in. So this is the first row that I have. Okay. These colors are going to fade because I had a lighter hair extension color and then I just toned it. So, you know, it would last me for about a week or so, but as you wash them, these are going to fade. So don't worry about them. So my next row is going to be the bottom one here. And I'm going to use the 24-inch. So usually I divide this row first. Then I'm going to do this row, okay? And then I'm gonna do the row in between. So those are my basic 3 lines, and then if anything, I'll do another row above this row the same. So normally I have about 4 rows, but depending on how short your hair is, if your hair is shorter, you will need more rows just to have more hair so that it can compensate for the volume at the bottom. So on average, it's between 5 to 8, 9 rows depending. So 9 rows would have a lot of hair, and 5 rows would be just like average. So usually for me, I do about 5, 6, okay? But that's how I divide it. If you start from the bottom and going up, you will spend too much time focusing at the bottom, but yet you don't focus at the top. So once you have it at the top, it's easier for you to basically balance it out. So after I finish 2 rows, I'm gonna, look at the mirror and see if I need any more volume at the bottom. And sometimes you may not, and sometimes you may do. So at every row that you do, just check it with the mirror, like this. Check it, check the bottom to see how it's looking. Does it look okay? And stuff like that. And then you don't have to overuse the hair. Sometimes you may put in more hair than you need. So by dividing it into 3 main sections, which is here, here, right? And then probably up here, if you tend to have shorter layers on the top, do those 3 rows first. And then if you feel that you need more, then you can do in between those 3 rows. So make sure you leave enough hair, okay, to when you need to cover it, this will cover it. Hi guys, so now it's like around 1 o'clock. I'm so exhausted. I kind of finished putting on my hair extensions. So I have about 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, 4 rows, 5 rows in here right now. I'm gonna wash it tomorrow morning so that it fluffs up, and then I'll style it, and then if I need to, I'll trim it. So I'm just showing you how it looks at the back. So right now it looks obvious because these are fresh hair, and you know, it's haven't been like expanded. The thing with hair extensions is that when you first have them, they are very straight, they're very silky. It's like wearing a shoe. You have to work into the shoe before it's comfortable. So same thing goes for hair extensions. So usually if you're planning to go to an event and get hair extension, it's best to do it like 3-4 weeks before you go to the event. That's the best time. So after 3 weeks, your scalp gets more comfortable, and also it feels better. It's more, you know, getting used to it, and also the hair fluff up. Once you wash the hair after a week or so, it starts, you know, become more natural. So right now, this is how long it is. It's like past my bum. I'm actually going to keep it like this for a bit. I'm going to wear it mostly curly, so once it's wavy, it'll go probably up to there. A lot of times you see on Instagram or Pinterest, Facebook or YouTube, these girls that have really nice long hair that is full of layers. It's either their hair is very thick, that they cut layers, you can see it, or they're wearing hair extensions like I do. So definitely, if you want that type of hair, it is doable with hair extension. It's just, you know, you just have to find the right kind that fits you. So I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm done. Right now it looks disconnected, so don't mind it, but I'm gonna show you an update of my hair in the next few days. Once I style it, once I wash it a couple of times, it'll look a lot better. So this is it. Put it up. You can't really see it because my hair covers it. And the great thing about this is that now when I do like a bun, I get a really nice volume bun. As you can see, when you have this much amount of hair, it creates really nice volume. And I'm just putting it in a stick like that. See? So it holds the hair really well. And yeah, so that's it from my tutorial today. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any other questions regarding how I install it or what to do, feel free to leave me a comment below, and I'll try my very best to answer them. So once again, thank you so much for watching. If you find that this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and help me raise awareness for my charity. I started my charity in 2009, and you know, it's only been recent years I actually go on YouTube and actually become a voice stronger for it. So I'm raising money on YouTube, and I am getting paid, and all that money goes towards my charity, and it helps poor kids to go to school. It helps me to build water wells, build homes, build schools, you know, anything I can do to help kids have a better life. So I appreciate it. Those of you who watch my videos, if you can support me and help me help others. So enough of me going on. Until next time everyone, I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone. Thank you so much for watching.